Today we're gonna do some glute activations and some core activations, and then we're gonna get into one circuit that just strengthens your lower body and your core. It's a very rainy day today, so hopefully the mic doesn't pick up all the noise of the rain crashing down. Here in Toronto, we're in the middle of summer, so we're getting one of those rainstorms. But it's the perfect day to kind of just like get into our bodies and turn things on. The glutes and the core are sort of the two areas that peel back and regress and kind of turn off from too much sitting. So let's make sure that we really pull them out because they are the best protectors against lower back pain or knee pain. You want to make sure that they're firing well. We're gonna start lying on our backs, and we're gonna start with a glute max activation. So take one foot, step it a little bit out to the side, and then turn the toes a little bit out to the side as well. Place your hand where your glute meets your hamstring. Okay, so right at the crease of your butt. And you're gonna exhale and just very gently lift that side of the hip to activate that muscle. So it's really low output. And we're gonna do 10 on this side. So I'm at 4, 5, you're basically offloading. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, so that allows your brain and your muscle to communicate. And then the other foot, we're gonna step a little bit out to the side, turn the toe out to the side, place the hand where the leg meets the glute, and we're gonna exhale and just offload. Okay, so you're taking the load off the floor and putting it into that muscle. It's really nice and gentle. We're at 6 here, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and now gentle core activations, arms at your sides. Think about a nice brace. So in order to get a nice brace, you need to first take a big breath in and expand your rib cage 360 degrees, and then exhale and compress or compact. Keep your chin tucked here. So you should feel now some tension around the core. And we'll keep that tension as we start to march, alternating sides. Maybe keep your fingertips on your pelvis here. And you want to try to resist, using your core, any tipping in the pelvis as you move from one leg to the other. So navel to spine, and just compressing. So all those muscles kind of hugging in around the bones and organs. Going with your exhalation. Last one here. Okay, now we're gonna flip over onto all fours. And another glute activation. So lower down onto your right elbow, and you're up on the left palm. So whichever side you have your palm, you're gonna extend that back leg. Okay, torso is a little bit turned toward the side, and you have a nice hip extension here. Exhale, bring the knee to the elbow, and extend it back. So you're also working the glute on the other side, but I want you to really think about your oblique, your waist muscles, on the side that is not kicking. So the bracing side. And we'll take this to 12, so 2 more. Good, and then switching sides. you. So lower down onto the elbow of the opposite side. Okay, and then up on the palm. Extend that leg back. And then knee to elbow. For 12 here. So since I'm on my left elbow, it's my left oblique that I'm thinking about. Trying to get that guy kicking in and stabilizing. You'll get more out of your glutes if you can really engage your core with your brain. Last two. I always lose count when I start talking, but we're pretty close. Okay, come up onto all fours. Hands right under the shoulders. Now we're gonna just do a little deep core activation. So this gets the posterior fibers, the back fibers of your transverse abdominis muscle, okay? So that's your deep kind of protective wrapping, most base layer of core. Hands away from the shoulders. Think about your lats so that your traps don't overwork here. And we're gonna take a breath in. As we exhale, you're just lifting the knees like 2 inches off the floor, okay? And then back down. So inhale, exhale. I always like to think about like a little like staple gun or something that's a bit punchy to activate that muscle to lift. So no tension in the shoulders or the jaw, just in the core. The abs compact and contract to lift the knees and the hips up. Last one here. Good. And then let's get up into some upper body. So we're gonna start, lower body. In a wide stance with feet turned out about 45 degrees. And we're gonna do a pulsing sumo squat. So come down in a squat, and then you're gonna use your glutes that we just turned on and your core that we just turned on. Pulse up, 2, and then all the way up on 3. I always like to match the breathing, the exhalation to the concentric contraction. So that's the up. So little out, out, and then all the way out when you come all the way up. Pulse, pulse, and all the way up. So we're bracing core so that we're not arching too much in the lower back. If we overextend the lower back, the glutes are not going to fire as well. So we want to keep the responsibility and the tension on the glutes and the core. Make sure that you're pushing through your heels. You should not feel your knees here. If you do feel knees, you may need to send your hips backward a little bit more and more emphasis in the heels. Okay, so we're gonna move into a hovering drop lunge. You're gonna step back in a drop lunge, and then you're gonna come halfway up, just hovering, and then going back down. So it looks like this. Step back in the full lunge, and then you're gonna push yourself forward, just using that front glute to stabilize, and then coming right back down. Okay, so really pay attention to the balance in the foot. You're thinking and how that connects to the glute. Okay, so you have glutes and core working, but you're not only in your heel, you're not only in your toes. You need the whole bottom of the foot. A little emphasis in the heel to get the glutes. And your body weight is hovering right over the heel. We'll do one more on this side. Good, switch. So stepping back, soft bend in that back knee. The front glute is really the leader. Okay, connecting the glute with the core. Oops. If you lose your balance, just tap a toe and try to regain it. So don't give up on the whole thing. Just tap your toe, give this guy some support to get it firing again, and keep trying. So we're focusing on weight in that whole foot, like a paperweight. Think about gravity pulling your heel down, activating all the way up the back of the leg. Good, you should feel those guys turned on. Now we're gonna go into diagonal ankle reach for core. So bring yourself all the way down, legs extended, feet hip width apart. Let's do left hand behind the head, supporting the head. Right arm extended back overhead. And we're gonna exhale and lift up, reaching the fingertips toward opposite ankle. And you're just gonna think about your pelvis nice and anchored in the middle of all this. So getting a nice diagonal reach. We're gonna do 10. Last 2. And then switch sides. So right hand goes behind the head, left arm back overhead, pelvis nice and anchored in the middle, and exhale to crunch up. So when people are training core, sometimes they get distracted by the back starting to kick in, or the hip flexors, front of the hip, or the neck. This one is nice because it kind of supports all of those areas. So you're not gonna feel as much friction. And karate chop crunch, I forgot what was next. Legs up at 90 degrees, hands behind the head. We're gonna curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Extend one leg forward to a 45 degree, and then you're gonna chop to the outside of the opposite knee. If you need to go slow here to think about it, your abs are only gonna be working harder, so not a bad thing. In this one as well, you should have little to no neck pain, little to no back pain. You're nice and supported. And you should be starting to feel your abs here. So lots of oblique. Last one. Good. We're gonna do one more of that Pilates glute kickback that we did in the activations before we go back to one more round. So starting on all fours, lower down onto one elbow, and then you're on the hand of the opposite side. Kick that leg back up so you get a nice hip extension here. And then exhale, knee to elbow, and extend it back. So remember, we're using the opposite side of the waist to brace. 7, you should be feeling that glute. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll switch sides. Okay, so extending that leg up. Exhale, inhale. Exhale to kick back. It's nice to exhale when you're going against gravity. Okay, so that glute is working to pull the weight of that foot against gravity. core is really working both ways. 10, 11. Good. Let's just give yourself a little shell stretch here before we move on. Been a little under the weather this week, so I can feel I'm a bit shakier than usual, but this is the perfect workout to come back. Okay, back to the pulsing sumo. So we're in a wide stance, feet turned out, core, glutes, brain connected. Inhale down, and then pulse 1, 2, and all the way up. So we'll have inner thighs working here a little bit as well. 2, 3, but our principle is really the glutes and the core. 1, 2, 3, at least that's what we are thinking about the most today. 2, 3, again, if you feel your knees, just send your hips back a little bit more. Maybe don't come down as low. If you feel your lower back, 2, 3, you'll want to try to tuck your tailbone down a little bit, show you from the side. So if this is too much of an arch, just tuck under, brace your core, use a little more leg. 2, 3, and that should correct that strain. 3, one more of these. 1, 2. Good. So let's go back to the drop lunge with hover. We're gonna step back, come down, and then just hovering over that front heel. So the weight of your trunk shifts forward. Your foot needs to find it, communicating with the glute. Glute has the support of core. Good, and we'll switch. Step back. Really thinking about the integration of your stabilizers. Good, we're back down. Diagonal ankle reach. Feet hip width apart, roll yourself down. Using your core. Okay, just wiggle your hips around, get reacquainted with your pelvis. Left hand behind the head, right arm extended overhead, and then we're gonna exhale. Lift opposite ankle, and reaching toward that ankle with opposite hand. Last 2. Good, we'll switch sides. It looks like the rain has stopped now, which is nice. Feeling a nice hamstring stretch on the way up too in the back of that leg. And certainly feeling the oblique. Okay, just bend your knees. Let's do a little windshield wiper of the knees for a second. Give your abs a moment. This is our last one. We're gonna do the karate chop crunch. So we'll bring legs back up to 90 degrees, hands behind the head, curl up so you've got that rectus abdominis engaged. Extend one leg to 45, chop to the outside of opposite knee, exhale as you chop. Be really intentional with your breath. 8. And the pelvis, nice and stable. 4, 3, 2. Good. You're all done. We're just gonna give you a nice little well-deserved glute stretch. Cross one ankle over the knee. Dorsiflex that foot, so pull the toes back toward the shin. And then we're gonna lift this leg that's on the floor, reach through to grasp the back of the hamstring, and then rock a little bit side to side. So you should feel a really nice stretch in the glute here on that crossed over leg. So while I was a little bit under the weather this week, just a reminder, there's always something that you can do, almost always. Dorsiflex your foot on the other side, lift up. I really believe in modify, don't quit. There are some weeks where you just can't go full tilt, and that's totally fine. But sometimes doing a little bit of something is better than nothing, unless you have a fever, but gentle movement almost always makes us feel better, and getting your blood moving around your body a little bit helps your body to recover. You're all done. Thanks for building and turning on your glutes and core with me, and I'll see you next time.